Hello y'all, and we back for this is not a third part to the last video on Snow White. This is actually more of an executionary word that I held on to, and I didn't really realize why I was holding on to it, but I feel like because I gave y'all Snow White in these past two videos, this word is actually going to be an executionary point that if you read the exegesis, or not read it, but listen to what I spoke on that word about Snow White, that you will understand what needs to be done in order to clean house and put application of certain things so that you are prepared for your God ordained spouse to come into the picture. Okay? So, what are you doing? We are pressing shift so that we can elevate to the next level. I have been single for about 10 years now. My last relationship ended September 11th, I think. And it may have been 11th or it may have been like the 7th, somewhere around there. But it ended, and when it ended, I went through a process. I grieved. Then I started to follow the Lord a few years later. It's about 2 years later I came into God. And with me coming into God, I had to make a shift as I started to heal and teach myself about the Lord and giving my life unto God. I began to heal and mold. He was allowed to heal and mold me in relation to these areas in which I did not know I needed healing. Now, I'm actually going to reference part of the film in relation to the fact that she was driven into the wilderness. A lot of you have been driven into the wilderness and did not know why you had to wait so long to be held in this place, because the Lord needed you to be put there so that He could heal you mentally of what you are believing and what was taught to you, emotionally of the hurts in which you were dealing with men and had been suffering deep down in relation to these relationships. Physically, your diet, sexual, physical, spiritual wounds. Things that you are going to need to physically repair yourself, repair your body to be able to withstand where He is sending you, for the relationship He's preparing you for. Spiritually, to be able, that you will have to be able to let go of certain practices, things that you were taught from childhood that do not fit. Socially, you're going to have to let go of people, places, and things. Yes, that includes family members that you have been trained to love. You're going to have to push them to the outer circles, because they aren't going to be able to be allowed where you're being prepared to go. You have to be willing to purge those things that the Lord is trying to get you to slowly let go of through multiple cycles of releasing, through slow, repetitive things, so that He can get you to relinquish the mindsets and shift into the rest that will follow. If you recall, if you listened to the last video, I said that the reason that Snow White was sleeping is because you are in a resting period. You're supposed to be resting. God needs you to rest before He releases you. So you have to rest. But in order for you to rest, you must clean house of the things like personal objects, people, yes, the things that you are emotionally soul tied to, that must be ripped from you as a person. These people that have spiritual energy that is attached to them and or objects. Yes, objects. Did they give you a bear? Did they give you a trinket? Did they give you a ring? Did they give you something? I remember I once had it was an angel wing that was given to me, and this angel wing I kept for the longest period of time. It tarnished, and I ended up releasing it and letting it go because my ex gave it to me, and I did. For the longest time I had kept it, but I did not realize there was something attached to that wing spiritually. A dog. I had a spiritual. I had a stuffed dog that I kept for the longest period of time, and then finally I just said, you know what, I'm gonna give this away. I gave the dog to a family member because I didn't want it no more. What was I holding on to it for? It was holding me up. I had to relinquish it. Objects hold on to spiritual attachments. And if you keep those objects, those are the things that are going to prevent you from being able to move forward. Your mother passes. She gives you her favorite coat. You have clothing in which you had that are keeping you held on to that thing, because every time you see it, it brings back a memory that pulls you backwards into the past, into a place of hurt, pain, frustration, so on and so forth, and it's keeping you stagnant and unable to be able to move forward. You have to rid yourself of the things in which those people that were toxic to you gave you. Purge, clean, clear, so that you can see clearly, hear clearly, listen clearly. You'll never find that husband that you are seeking for if you keep holding on to things that are from your past, including as it is your exes. I had a friend that used to deal with, she would keep her exes as friends, and I'm like, you can't do that. You cannot do that, because you think, oh, we just friends. But guess what? You keeping them around as a friend, what will end up happening is when your God-ordained spouse, or when a person comes to try to get attached to you, you're talking to them about this person. A monitoring spirit. They become a monitoring spirit, and then they start to become the thing in which was which is an antithesis of what your actual person is. Meaning they will mimic, create the illusion like they're the answer to your problem, and then you'll be wondering, oh, well, why did I break up with you? And then all of a sudden you start getting thoughts and ideas of adultery against your own spouse. Get rid of them. Cut off all opposite sex male friends. Sorry. If they're that close to you, get rid of them. Meaning y'all got that tight of a relationship, gotta go. I mean, unless they are gay. But let them go. Cut all ties. Cut them off. How do you cut them off? I'm going to give you the word. Lord Father God, in the name of Jesus, to you I pray, relinquish this relationship to your custody for you to rearrange in my life. I ask for you to cut off the soul tie to this person, that I may continue to have respect for this person, but I no longer desire to be this close or this tied to them. Cut the tie and leave the respect intact. In the name of Jehovah Rapha, the healer. Then you need to do some spring cleaning and dump out all of the things that no longer serve you in relation to that particular person and relationship. Release it and let it go. Listen carefully and listen closely so that you no longer need them. They are no longer serving you. Now, but if you are keep hesitating, that you keep holding on to things that you are supposed to get rid of, stay wanting and taking their stuff and dealing with this type of stuff, you are leaving and holding on to weights that are easily besetting you in these types of situations, and you are going to end up taking them with you, and they are going to become crutches unto you. So in order to keep you going back and forth, faith in God, who needs to be your only source, God is not going to allow it, and what he's going to do is either you're going to freely give it up or he's going to snatch it away from you. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to hold on to things and I've lost things. Several seasons. Every season I lost a whole slew of stuff. Stuff that I thought I was going to be taking forth into my next season, gone. Let go and let God. For if you are hurting, there are things that you need to carry, things that need to find peace within you, and you need to be able to come out of it with the gratitude of the experience, but you need to shift. I bet you if you had knew the understanding that if these were the things that are keeping you in this place and in this time, in a cycle, that the only thing you really needed to do was let go of people, places, and things, guess what? Because your God ordained spouse, and let the Lord show you what that man look like. Some of them you may not want, but some of them are tall, dark, handsome, and look 100% fine. You'll start dumping everything in your life out, including people. You'll be throwing them away every minute. It's like, you ain't holding me up out of this blessing. Why? Because this is a quote that I found on the internet, and I retyped it. But this is what we are looking for, and tell me it isn't, when it comes to these God-ordained spouses. If you fall in love with someone who wants to know your favorite color, just how you like your coffee. Fall in love with someone who loves the way that you laugh and would absolutely do anything to hear it. Fall in love with someone who puts their head on your chest just to hear your heartbeat. Fall in love with someone who kisses you in public and is proud to show you off to anyone that they know. Fall in love with someone that makes you question why you wanted or you were scared of love and falling in love in the first place. Fall in love with someone that falls in love with your flaws and thinks you are perfect just the way you are. Fall in love with someone who thinks they would not be able to do without you, to wake up with you every single day. Some of y'all that may have been having dreams, I know I've been having dreams like this, that my God ordained spouse and I run into each other and I look, to me, unkempt, out of order. My hair's not done to the degree that I would have liked it to be. My clothing isn't as well put together as I would have liked it to be. And I just feel like I don't look as approachable and presentable to stand next to him. And it's always that way in the dreams that I run into him. I'm in my most natural form. And he still comes to me. In every dream. Now, there was one dream that I was full afro, had my hair done, all this kind of stuff, but I was still in a natural state. These men are going to love you no matter what. And they don't need all of the pomp and circumstance of you being glammed up, all the hair, all of the nails, all of the designer outfits, all of the, even if they are the type of guy that you've only ever known them as that. You do know that when they turn off at the end of the night that they're regular too, right? Even the most GQ guy gets down to real normal. And they want someone that can love them in that state too. They're going to love you in your natural state. And you're going to love them in that way too. That doesn't mean that you don't forget. You still got to get your look and your act and your appearance together. But you still must realize that they're going to love you as you are. Even the way I am right now. My God ordained spouse will probably love me even yet and still. And the old Fabulous song, you remember? The Fabulous, I think, is that the I'm so into you, it's like you didn't even care how chipped my tooth was. The only reason I said that is because I got this tooth problem. They don't care. The ones that love you don't care. And you want to prepare yourself for that person. Does that mean that you don't try to make yourself out to be prepared for that guy? Oh, you do. You take care of your internal health. You do as much as you can do with what you have where you are. Until you have something more. But when you have something more, you better show them that you know how to do it. Because 9 times out of 10, they probably saw you in your most gorgeous as well. This is something I'm going to say. I was talking to a young woman a few years back, and we ended up on a long drive together. And she was telling me how she was having a conversation with her guy friends and what they feel about women that are dressed down. It's like, most men feel that when they see a woman that's already dressed down, they know that if she looks good in her dressed down form, she looks so much better when she is in her fully fancified, glorious, pretty, sexy, whatever it is, appearance. But if she looks sexy to them like this, oh, she good. Because he knows. From either side, what she look like. She gonna look good either way. But don't fall onto your laurels in your plain state. Give the man something to look at every once in a while. You're going to hold up that type of relationship if your mindset isn't right. And I bet you would toss every single thing out that belonged to your previous relationship or empty relationships in which you've had from your past that were holding you up, because you want that relationship, that love, that caring, because you're willing to give in order to be able to receive. Because if you look at the flip side, look at the people whose lives that are on hold, being held up, they are staying back, they are holding on to things that could be a person on a verge of suicide. A word, a video, a book, a ministry, suggestions, blessings that could take them to hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. And they need a touch by you. But you're holding things up. That man who's been waiting for you his whole life, you are the answer to his prayers. You are meant to be the mother to his children. He's going to give you the life you've always wanted and never could have dreamed of, the children and the grandchildren that will bless this world. Are you really going to hold that up because you aren't willing to shift and release the things that are holding you back? If you look at it like this, if you died tomorrow, would you want the stuff you had been holding on to? Was it worth it? Make the shift. Change your life. Believe in yourself. Be the blessing. And change your world. So I hope this blessed you. If you are interested in more content from me, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Until next time, bye-bye.